Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Paula Gates from Pathway Caring for Children, talking about kinship adoption and kinship caring for children. Paula, let's go even more complicated, because sometimes parents are adoptive parents.
Yes.
Do you ever get the situation where an adoptive parent then is raising the children of their adoptive child?
Yes. I think of several situations, and one is a family, and Pathway got involved with this family when they had twins that were 16, and then they also had another older daughter, and they were all adoptive in this family. And then a tragedy happened for the children of the oldest adoptive child, and the children were abused severely. The parents from this area ran out to that area, another state, quite a distance away, and were with the children through that trauma. And it was 5 months that grandmother, this adoptive grandmother, stayed out there with these children. One was in the hospital due to severe head injury from abuse.
Dear. Oh, my.
And the other child had to go into foster care because the mother went into jail. And so these grandparents, one staying back here and working, the other one out in another state, caring for these children, they brought them back and adopted them. And they were 3 and 9 at the time. And here they are now, 10 and almost 17, I believe. And these girls have just thrived with the stability that these grandparents have provided. And both this little girl who had this tragedy was supposed to die, and they even had to revive her on the way to the hospital. She had 3 brain surgeries during that 5 months and has had some more since she's been here. You'd never guess it now to look at this little girl and just doing so much better mentally, emotionally as well. And the older girl who experienced so much trauma herself, and Pathway being able to surround them, the whole family, with services for all this time. And the family is doing very well.
Oh, those stories. With the amount of hardship that you have to see and that you have seen over 28 years, and Paula, I don't know how you do it. You also get to see these moments of joy, don't you?
Yes, I do. And I treasure all those wonderful stories of our families and the joy of being able to see, and I always tell our parents, this isn't the end of the story when they're in the middle of the hard times. And I'm so blessed to be able to see further down the road with these families and how things have turned when they've been able to get the help they needed. And just to see these amazing families, their commitment to these children, and how they've been able to change this family in particular. I think those parents say, they gave away their dreams of retirement, but this is their dream now, of being able to raise these children, these grandchildren successfully.
No child arrives as a blank slate. They've got all kinds of things built in, even just born.
Yes.
But we're talking about receiving children into your home who are anything but a blank slate, just as you've just described. We have no idea what some of them have been through. I'm sure there are special needs that they have. What are these, and how do you begin to address them?
Well, the family I mentioned, of course, they were involved with a lot of medical meeting the medical and neurological needs of this little girl who had this brain trauma. And then, of course, counseling and case management groups, therapeutic groups to help them through their trauma. The oldest girl went to our trust camp recently, which we have in Geneva, Ohio, for 50 teenagers, and amazing experiences for these kids and how they're able to overcome fears through that. So surrounding them with lots of supports. And again, we do have our kinship support group, our mom's breakfast group. That's for kinship and adoptive moms. We're starting our dad's group again, which will be for kinship and adoptive dads. We have another group called Connected Family Group. That's for the whole family to come. This is for kinship and adoptive parents, and we do connecting activities together. That'll start again in the fall. Don't have a date yet. We also have a wonderful opportunity coming up.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, I'm so excited about this. The Adoptive and Kinship Mothers Women's retreat that's going to be at Lakeside up on Lake Erie. Wonderful. It's been a dream of mine to get this. We finally got a grant from the Women's Fund of Stark Community Foundation. And First Friends Church is also supporting this. But it's going to be September 15 to 17. Anybody who would want to sign up for this, you can look on Pathway's website, www.pathwaycfc.org, and get the registration form, turn it into us, and we would love to have kinship and adoptive moms join us anywhere in our community.
Now, when you say anybody can join us, you mean any kinship and adoptive moms.
Yes.
And this is particularly for women this time.
Absolutely.
What kinds of things are you going to do? Lakeside, it's just fun to just be there. But what do you have planned?
We have wonderful things planned. And we're having, this is like a whole dream, all the dream. I'm having the place I wanted to have a whole weekend retreat and to have the best speaker, Paula Freeman, who wrote the book, A Place I Didn't Belong, and it's Hope for Adoptive and Kinship Mothers. She's coming from Colorado to speak at our retreat, and really it's about the journey of the kinship and adoptive mom and helping them through the hard times to get to a better place themselves, whether their children go to a better place or not, to be able to take care of themselves and really having a better relationship with God.
Was the speaker, what role did she have connected to this? Has she been a kinship or an adoptive mom, or was she adopted?
She's an adoptive mom who's also an adoption professional who's had a tough journey herself. She wrote this book that I've used with our groups, and it's been such a great resource for us. It allows parents to sort of our mothers work through their journey, struggles, and challenges, and to look at these kids. And what Paula Freeman says is a 5-story fall, that these kids have had a 5-story fall that and have had all these things happen to them before they even came to the family where they're living at, the adoptive or kinship family. So it's really these moms understanding that, having compassion for that, but also understanding how difficult it is for them and working through their own issues to get to a place where they could really help their child that they're parenting through this trauma.
Now, on the retreat, are these moms and daughters and sons together, or is this these are just the moms? Just
We're going to
moms.
have a massage time available. We're going to have a labyrinth walk, a prayer journey walk. These are optional activities. We have our presentations. I have 3 moms who are going to share their stories. And you were talking about the hard stuff, but also their successes and the joys. We're going to have a panel discussion as part of it. We just have a great time planned. We have a game night. We have the Saturday night is going to be for special stations. We're going to learn how to tie scarves and have some special crafts available. And to me, the specialness is the refreshment spiritually, emotionally, and just be able to have some time away and to have time to connect with other moms going through similar things, to laugh, to have fun, and just this relaxing environment will really be a great place to do that.
There is something about getting together with other people who are in the same boat, right? What is it that really fosters lifting everybody up when that feeling like I'm the only one doing this has got to be so isolating and tough?
Oh, I'll tell you, I just had the Mom's Breakfast Group this last Saturday, and it's amazing. They feel understood. They feel validated. They feel like I'm not alone, and they can say whatever they need to say. It's a place of trust, and we laugh together. We cry together, and it's so hard, and these moms are able to share that in the group of how hard it is when their families don't understand, their extended families, when maybe their husbands don't understand, and struggles with marriage because of what they're going through with their children. And here, in our groups, like at the retreat, it'll be a safe place where people understand and your needs can be met. I have moms who come to the Mom's Breakfast and they say, my husband lets me off for the day and I can take care of myself. And, coming to the group is part of that. And that's what we expect with the retreat. A lot of self-care, refreshment, inspiration, and going away with hope.
And I love that you're even going to have a scarf tying workshop so you come away
That's something I'm going to
feeling
enjoy.
cute. Yes.
We're going to have painting fingernails and toenails.
Oh, yes.
Massages and all the good stuff.
All that on the outside, I know it's external, but it does kind of feed the spirit a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes,
Yes,
it
there's
does.
just something good for the soul in that. You said I got the place I wanted to stay. Where are you going to be staying?
Well, we're staying at Fountain Inn at Lakeside.
Wow.
And our meetings will be in the same building, and we'll have a room that we eat in. And it's going to be great. So if we have bad weather, we are set.
Doesn't matter.
We're hoping for good weather, but we have it all in one building. It's suitable for handicap. There's an elevator. Anybody in any condition, you would enjoy this.
And it's hallowed ground. You just will feel so wonderful
Yes.
stepping on the grounds of Lakeside. Just that in itself is so great.
Yes.
I'm thinking of so many things that today's parent has to deal with that they didn't have to deal with as yesterday's parent.
Yes.
And technology is one of them. Do you get into that at all with them?
Well,
the
our
internet and the texting and the
Yes.
cyberbullying, and there's
How
just
can
so
we
much.
not get into it? It's just
So much.
today's culture, and it's so hard. And I'd say that cyberbullying is one thing our kinship and adoptive parents really face with their children, is how to protect their children from that. And I know at Pathway we've had some training in this and have heard about all the suicides that have come from this kind of behavior, and how do we protect our children? So yes, we try to help our grandparents that are parenting and aunts and uncles that are parenting and our adoptive parents to deal with these issues and to protect their children. Very hard stuff.
Well, when you're talking about families, you're talking about any number of possibilities. When you were saying sometimes the husband doesn't understand. This could be a second marriage.
Yes.
And then he has no relation to these children other than the fact that these are more in-laws, and he's now taking them into his home. There's so many things that you deal with, Paula. First of all, we're going to pray for you and remember to do that. But before we leave, let's give everybody one more time all the details about this wonderful retreat you've got coming up.
Well, our adoptive and kinship mothers retreat is September 15 to 17. And it will start Friday evening. Our program starts at 7 p.m. and then we end on Sunday at around noon. And we have the weekend full of things, but we're also hoping for great refreshment there. It's at Lakeside, Chautauqua, up at Lakeside, Ohio. And you can sign up for this Adoptive and Kinship Mothers by going to our website, or you can also call Pathway and you can ask for me, Paula Gates, 330-818-0432. That's my direct line, and I would be glad to walk you through of being able to register for our retreat.
And they can find it all at pathwaycfc.org.
Yes.
Paula Gates, thank you so much for all you're doing in our community.
Thank you, Susie.